Good morning everybody, welcome to a beautiful sunny England. We like sunshine, always good, release those endorphins, vitamin D, makes you feel sexual. This morning I am off to see me old mucker Scouse. Got a few bits coming into the workshop today. I think we've got an Altezza in there, in for a wheel bearing and some brake pads. I think he's got a Cresta coming in as well a little bit later on. As I said yesterday, let me know below in the comment section if you're liking these vlogs or these farm vlogs. I can pretty much do them most days, so I should be able to release content, not every day, but every other day. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, do you want to see more vlogs? I will be at said farm in about 5 minutes, so I'll see you guys up there very shortly. Morning lads. Terry. You alright? Lady. Hello. Kirsty. Michelle. Morning squad. As I mentioned on the way up here, that's the Altezza that Scouse is working on today. Some of you guys will probably think that's a Lexus IS200. Well, essentially it is, it's the same chassis, but that's actually a Toyota Altezza. These are sort of quite unique, these cars. You see it's a Beams. If you look down here, it's got a little Yamaha badge. I don't know a huge amount about these Beams engines, but I noticed it says 3SGE, and I know that's an engine they used in the Toyota MR2, the sort of older shape. The MR2 Turbo was a 3SGTE, obviously the T denoting a turbocharger. It's quite a unique car this, it was never officially imported into the UK, so only available as a Japanese import. You can sort of normally tell the difference of the Altezzas at the back, because the IS200 had the very famous sort of Lexus lights, and these have got these covers with these round lights, so they do look a little bit different from the back. Quite cool that, nice to see a sort of rare bit of JDM. Obviously cars like this aren't ever being produced and numbers are slowly on the dwindle, so it's quite nice to see one still surviving. First drive of the Sora.
Right, Terry! Oh, yeah, there's no now, steering wheel went off. Go! Ready? Straighten up. Bit more. Leave it there.
Sweet. That was a little bit scary when they started pushing me, the fucking steering wheel came off of my hands. Next port of call is going to be fitting things like the headlights, connecting up the ECU, getting the interior fitted. We're not going to leave the interior fully stripped. George is probably going to use this car a little bit on the street. If she needs to, she can actually drive it to an event if I'm using my trailer. Over the next few days, we'll crack on and start doing a few more bits. Obviously record it all for you lovelies. Scouse is just bringing in this classic Subaru, is it a wagon or is it a, yeah, it's a wagon. Naughty Terry. I think this is a version 2 WRX Classic. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. It might be version 1, 2 or 3. I think they maybe made a version 4 and 5 as well, didn't they? There's quite a few different classic Scoobies. The boys are just checking out the gator on that Subaru. We've also got a really, really sick car here. Lovely GT86 with a full Blitz body kit. Check this out. That is lovely. Owned by quite a famous chap called Mitto. Very JDM. But I must admit, I do like this. I do like how the stock 86s look, but I do think they look a little bit soft, so with an aggressive kit like this, it really makes the car sort of stand out. You can sort of see the over fenders there. He's got these quite nice lights as well. I think they're from America, they're like an LED light, but they do look pretty cool when they're illuminated. Does look cool. We've got Cosmis Racing wheels, I'm not sure which ones they are. Does it say on it? No, but they look pretty good, whatever they are. Some nice cheeky carbon sort of GT mirrors. Front fenders are also super cool. Loving the lines on those. Also got a Bride bucket seat if we look in there. It's still naturally aspirated. I think Mitto's done a few things like changing the manifold and a few sort of basic engine bits, but it's a pretty tidy car, that. Someone on my Instagram yesterday actually said, can we do a review on it? And Mitto actually liked the comment, the chap that owns it. So hopefully we can get a review going. If you want to keep an eye on Mitto's car, this is his Instagram down here. Make sure you give him a follow. Terry also finished the bits on that little kit car yesterday. Now it's actually got a front nose on it. We've seen the car for the last sort of few months without a front cone on it. Now it's got a nose, you can sort of see what she looks like, a little bit different. I've actually got to do a little bit of editing now, try and get this video out for you guys, the one we did a couple of days ago. I'm going to let the boys carry on with the Scooby for a little bit, we'll catch up with them very shortly. I just want to say a massive thanks to Mr. Ashley James, absolute legend. Check out these number plates he sent me for the Honda. My Civic goes, "Bwah!" Ashley's been watching the old Honda diaries. He noticed that the front number plate on the Honda looked like absolute shit. Really, really loving those. Thanks, Ashley. You're an absolute star, man. The Altezza is all good to go now. Terry's just going to take it for a quick little test drive to make sure the brakes are all good. I will come with to show you guys what an Altezza is all about.
Duggets. Fuck me, that's sharp, man.
Have you driven an Altezza before?
No.
You're not? First time?
I've driven an IS200.
Yeah. Things with those ISs, because they do that 6-pot, 2-litre 6-pot. Fuck me, they're so slow for a 6-pot. They're quite cool as well. If you guys look in the middle here, they've got quite sort of unique dials.
It's my favourite bit of these cars.
Yeah, they're quite cool, aren't they? Quick look there, so not getting Terry's way. We think it's got some sort of uprated clutch as well.
Yeah, it's got like a twin plate or something.
Yeah, because it's quite noisy. I had a little chat with Gareth yesterday, who owns this car, and he does like to do duggets. I've heard he's a bit of a monster. Said he was driving the other day and a curb stepped out and hit him, so.
That explains why the wheel bearings.
Yeah. Quick look around the interior, we've got many stickeroos. We've got a little sort of double din, looks like some sort of Japanese sat nav. Yeah, it is. Doubt it works, but it looks pretty cool. You starting to like JDM, Terry?
I do, I am.
You're more of a sort of old school Ford man, aren't you?
Yeah, I just bought that Impreza, haven't I? So.
Have you bought an Impreza?
Yeah.
What, WRX?
No, it's a non-turbo.
A non-like 2-litre NA?
Yeah, just as a daily. It's the only
cool.
way I can afford to run an Impreza daily.
Is it a wagon?
No.
Saloon?
Yeah.
Cool. You'll probably remember Terry from the previous videos. We've been badgering him for a long time to do a review on his 6 Series 2 Escort. Is it Escort Turbo?
Yeah, RS Turbo.
RS Turbo, that's it. Your Series 2 is quite sort of unique, isn't it? It hasn't got the original lump.
No, it's got a Mark 1 Focus RS forged engine, Mark 1 Focus RS gearbox,
Fair play.
Mark 1 Focus RS Brembo brakes.
And what were you saying horsepower at the moment was?
At the moment it's about 250. Once I can get it power mapped, it'll be about 350, maybe a little bit more.
And obviously still front wheel drive. You got a decent LSD in there?
Yeah, it's got the Focus RS Quafe.
Oh, you got the Quafe, fair play. So it should put the power down.
Yeah, and it's got I've had to change the ratios on it as well because Focus RS runs 18-inch wheels.
Ah,
so
good point.
With the smaller wheels, it was a bit revvy up on the motorway.
A little bit too short ratio.
Yeah.
What have you got on yours? 16s?
17s.
17s. What are they? OZs, aren't they, or something?
They're TSW
TSWs.
Catalonias.
Oh yeah,
old school.
They're old school, yeah. Like Max Power days.
Yes.
Like TSW Venom. So that was a
90s,
fucking wheel, man. As the year progresses, once Terry's finished doing the mapping and stuff, we'll hopefully get a review for you guys pretty soon. Right, let's do a little Altezza pull. It's got some guts, but you've got to rev it out a bit.
It's very VTEC-y.
Yeah. Obviously there's 3 of us in here now, so you know weight is a sort of real sort of negative against this car. It's not hugely powerful, so the more weight you put in it, the slower it goes. It's kind of like VTEC though, isn't it? You've really got to sort of rev it to get it to go, haven't you?
Yeah, it's got a nice little tweak when you feel the power band.
Yeah, you definitely feel it come in. Yeah.
It doesn't feel sluggish, like really sluggish.
No. What are you saying in the back, Mikey?
All good.
You got loads. You got some leg room.
Yeah.
Perfect family car.
A bit different to Wayne Skyline though, isn't it?
Yeah. How did you find the Skyline yesterday?
It's
Pretty quick, isn't it? Yeah, man. This car had quite a gnarly wheel bearing whine at the back. Obviously now the guys have changed it, the horrible noise is gone. What do you recommend with sort of wearing in sort of new discs and pads? What's your sort of recommended technique?
Normally we say a tank of fuel, so just be a bit gentle with it, but these actually feel pretty damn good out the box, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You normally feel them, they're normally a bit spongy.
And you just don't be too heavy on the brakes essentially.
Yeah.
Like I said before, these are about I think these are about 200 or 190 from the factory. There are a few sort of turbo kits you can buy, and these are quite sort of popular cars. Sometimes people take the engines out and put 1Js in them or 2Js, all sorts of madness. Holds the road well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. The Coil Overs make a nice bit.
Yeah, they do. They're not too bouncy either. Another one bites the dust. Nice one, lads. Another happy customer. Quick look round the old Altezza. Spot the different wheels. Always the sign of someone who likes to do a little dugget. Obviously, there are the rear lights that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, quite a cool car. This. Loads of stickers as well. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. About sort of roughly about 75 extra horsepower from the stickers. Me and the old Scousey are off on a little bit of a mission. Quite an exciting mission.
It is exciting, yeah, definitely.
Tell the audience where we're going.
So we are going to go to the body shop that has my GT86.
Sick.
And go and sort out the chassis leg on it, and so they can jig it all out and straighten it out, and I can actually finally get it back on the road after owning it for 4 months.
A few months, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the audience the story behind the car, because they're probably thinking, fuck, this guy's got millions of pounds, he's bought a GT86 to turn into a sort of street weapon, but you kind of bought the car with a bit of a story, didn't you?
Yeah, so basically I decided to buy the car as it was actually a Cat D, just made it a lot more affordable way of buying it.
And just explain like Cat D, because obviously UK guys know what that is, but for the guys that are international.
So Cat D is insurance write-off, which is it's mostly cosmetic, not really structural. It has got some chassis leg damage, but it's not
enough to
it's not too bad. Yeah, so it's quite surprising that actually wrote the vehicle off to the point where the guy doesn't own it anymore. Like, didn't get it actually repaired. Because the repair itself, yes, it's cost a few thousand, but that's only because I decided to do it as a
bit of a sort of project.
Well, just do it completely 100% properly, like brand new, genuine Toyota parts, rather than going scrap yards and cutting front ends off.
Stuff,
that's it. So you could do it a lot cheaper, but I wanted it 100% right. It deployed things like the airbags. The dashboard had to be replaced. Steering wheel airbag, it has a knee airbag, so all of that kind of stuff is all expensive, time-consuming stuff to replace.
It's surprising how quickly it all adds up. Obviously, you can do all the labour yourself, so you cut a massive cost out of it.
Oh, easy. Like, I mean, I would easily say I've probably put about 30 hours worth of labour into it. So that can be adds quite a lot of cost on top of it.
And then obviously, with some of you guys remember in the previous episodes, we sort of briefly ran over what you're going to do, but you're not going to be using the stock boxer engine, are you? You're going to be going 2J.
Yes, so to start off with, I'll be putting the Boxster engine back in just to be able to use the car, and so I can actually build up the chassis and the brakes, because there is no sense in putting a 500-600 horsepower JZ engine in a car that's got stock brakes, stock suspension, stock wheels. It's just not going to work properly. You end up getting a Cat D again very soon. It makes complete sense to build up the chassis, make it capable of handling such a powerful vehicle engine, and then I can eventually do the engine swap itself. Hopefully I won't go too mad in it, because that's the problem with drifting. It's very easy to lose focus of the big picture, and you're just like, I want to drift this corner really well, and I want to get really close to this car, and I want to get really close to this wall, and then you write the rear end off, and you're like, damn it, that wasn't worth it.
There's always that danger of over-engineering your car and not getting seat time. You know, that's what I've tried to take the stance of. Is not have such a crazy car. Don't invest all my money in the car, but get practice.
It's the best way to do it. Is to build the car up. So you build your skill level up with the car.
Around the car.
There's so many people that will go, oh, I'm going to build up this like 400-500 horsepower car, spend loads of money in it, and then they start drifting it and realise they can't drift it properly because they haven't
actually
grown up with it almost. You know,
it's sort of gone from one thing where the car was pretty much standard, basic, lock, no power, and suddenly they got some fucking 600 brake competition car.
Yeah,
I don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
And they get scared of it. You know, when you've invested £20,000-30,000 in a fucking car, it does make you think twice. I mean, I'm just an erratic only child, but I think the average person, they do think twice about lobbing it in against the wall.
Definitely. Like, you know, it's and I think when you've worked hard for it and you put all your money and your own time in building something, you don't want to be throwing it against the wall and smashing it up.
It becomes precious.
Yeah, definitely.
And then long term with the 2J, you're going to be running the stock twins to start with?
No,
basically
I'm going to have to go straight to single turbo just because the
clearance.
The clearance, the stock twin turbos do not work. They foul against the clutch slave cylinder, annoyingly, but because other than that, you probably could be okay and get away with it. So all the left-hand drive cars can run the stock twin turbos.
And it's only for the fact that yours is right-hand drive?
Only for the fact it's right-hand drive.
Because obviously everything's just moved over to the other side.
Exactly, So otherwise, I probably could run it.
He's Clarendon Ripley.
I think it's left here,
Sorry. Monky went the wrong way.
Sat nav required.
And then, and what sort of turbo are you thinking?
I want to run a Borg Warner EFR turbo, internally gated. They're really good turbos, really strong, really quick spooling, and make good power. I like the simpler design. You know, like simplicity of not having external wastegate.
Yeah. So it's just internally gated, so it's just got an actuator instead of an external wastegate.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
What are you sort of thinking? Like, I mean, you can't sort of guesstimate the horsepower, but what sort of figures does it guess? Sort of 500?
I think it's going to be about between 5 and 6. Like just to give it a real broad margin as such.
And then what about what gearbox?
CD09 gearbox,
which is from a 350Z.
350Z,
and
like late 350Z.
The later
gearbox.
one, which has got the stronger synchro meshes. Is that correct?
That's it. So yes, you could use the earlier ones, but unfortunately, over time with a bit of abuse, they will start to break, and then you end up costing more money to repair it rather than just buying a more expensive one in the first place.
You're going to run that box pretty much standard.
Yeah, that box is capable of handling.
6.
I mean, the one I've got now is actually not bad mileage. I think it's about 70,000 miles, maybe a bit less. Yeah. So yeah, you can do 600 to 700 horsepower on them, just as a stock box, which is quite amazing, really, considering it's on a NA.
Designed for a car with fucking, what have they got? 200.
Yeah, 276 horsepower NA. It's very over-engineered.
Yeah. Much better than like an R154. And the only other option really with that is you can go for maybe like RB25 box or
RB25, or
there's loads of different adapter plates.
V160 would be amazing,
but
they're so expensive. It's actually more than the engine.
Yeah, I mean we've been looking recently. V160s is the original Supra gearbox. V160 is the original Supra box, and they're like $4 to $5 now for a used box, and you've got no idea what they're actually like condition-wise.
No, that's it.
A lot of risk.
It's a lot of risk for a second-hand part. And also, if you've got to rebuild it, you know it's going to cost a lot of money. But it's generally finding them, like actually finding one of those boxes, is going to cost you.
Everyone knows now they're the sort of box to go for, aren't they? What about things like the chassis? If you like coil overs, and are you going to like run like angle kits to start off with, or just keep it like completely stock lock?
To start off with, I'm going to keep it stock lock. Yeah. So I've got some Teen Flex A coil overs for it.
Nice.
Which I used to have Teen coil overs on the S14.
Yeah, they're nice, man. I used to have those on the old Skyline.
They're good coil overs, and you got them on the Sora.
Yeah, on the Sora. Yeah, they're actually Super Streets, those ones, but they're similar. The Flexes were like a more expensive option.
Yeah.
Super Street didn't have adjustable. It doesn't have a separate preload.
It's not height adjustable, is it? No, it's just like you have to adjust the height on the spring preload.
Yeah, it affects the preload. Yeah, so they're not as good as the Flexes, but because they've got a separate preload. But yeah, they're really good coil overs, those, man. I've always been a big fan of Time Flexes.
So yes, you could get some cheaper coilovers, but I do want the car to handle well. I don't want to take that handling characteristic out of it.
What about ECU? Did you right in saying you're going to use a Cyvex?
I want to use a Cyvex S6. Yeah, they're really good ECUs. So yes, you could use a Link or anything like that. They're also very good. But I do know Charlie at Cyvex, so it does make sense to.
And they are packed with features, those bloody things.
Like it just means you can perfectly tune the engine to optimum for exactly how you want to use it.
Yeah. Right, we're just arriving at the old body shop. What are they called?
Calbrook Coachworks. Calbrook.
Right here?
Yeah, just over there, yellow sign.
Next one. We go.
Well, the car's inside, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Where should we park?
Just hang up here, mate.
Here. We are down at the wonderful body shop. We have the GT86. Quickly show you guys what she's all about. The back hasn't got any damage, has it, Scousey?
All good and straight.
That's nice. Show me what you're doing at the front.
So all we've got to do for them is basically we're going to be removing the wheels, removing all suspension struts inside here, getting off the lower subframe, take the steering rack out, and it gives it all clearance for us to be able to get the chassis legs all sorted out.
We've got Mark, welcome to my channel, sir.
All right.
What did you think you had to do when you came down here?
So, I was hungover Sunday morning, and I thought we were coming down to take the chassis leg out for them, because I'd already done this side.
Yeah.
But I thought I want the same again, cut it all out, cut it, take it out. So then the new one we got down here, so basically that goes that way round. Basically gonna cut between there.
Yeah.
And put that in.
So if you guys look here, that's exactly just basically a replica of that piece there. Yeah. Obviously this one's a bit twisted, so it needs to come out and be swapped over.
That's it. Initially I thought this could have been like fixed, straightened out, but this leg here is basically twisted like this slightly, which means this lower support panel here for the radiator isn't lining up. So you've got the brackets of the radiator here. The body panels were effectively, they were all lining up. The bonnet was lining up, the bumper was lining up, but it's all under here that wasn't lining up, and I want the suspension to be right. You know, it's quite an important characteristic of the car to handle correctly. Yeah. So I wanted it to be right, which is why I brought it here, so it can be on this jig. So basically it all gets bolted down to this bed, and they basically have a specification sheet of measurements, and it gets cross-referenced and measured across all these different points of the car. And if it's not straight, they pull it and manipulate it to make it straight, so the car's 100% again.
Essentially today, Scousy's just got to remove the subframe, all the front suspension components, just to make the guys here's job a little bit easier. They can then obviously replace the chassis leg and jig the car up and make sure it's dead straight. The lads in the body shop have also got a pretty cool car. It's a very old school car that's very rare as well. Can you tell me in the comment section what shell this is? That was a little guided tour of, how do you say it? Calbrook Coachworks.
Calbrook Coachworks.
Obviously we'll show you the results once the 86 is done, but they seem pretty, quite a professional outfit if I'm honest. We haven't actually got a huge amount to do when we get back, have we, Scousey? And it's getting quite late as well.
No, so yeah, just a couple of little bits and then close up and go home.
Go home. So we'll probably end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my Patreon down here. Give the video a like. Put your comments down below. I'll do my best to get back to you. And me and Scousey will see you soon.